I need a bush down there. Because if I'm having sex and I'm holding 2 little feet and I look down and I see clean shaven, I'm like, no, this feels bad. This feels way too close to something that would get me on Dateline NBC. Yo, show.
Brad.
Yes, sir.
What's up, buddy?
I'm popping the cherry on the studio.
You are. This is the brand new studio. It's the Yo Show studio. What do you think?
I think it's great. I think it's very you. I think it's good. You got the wedding
Wait a
photos
minute.
in the back.
Hold on. Very me. What was very me?
Basketball, and Vegas and clean.
Thank you.
You're clean.
Yes. Yeah. It's not sloppy, man.
No, you're organized.
Yes, I'm not a sloppy person. It's very organized. What would the background of your studio be?
Oh my God. It'd probably be just a lot of like 80s cartoons and posters of John Elway.
Dude, you met John Elway several times now, right?
Yeah, he's a friend now. It's crazy.
Now, I know
this job is so, like, when it gets to a certain point, it's so cool.
Dude, it's bananas. Like, it's crazy how if somebody becomes a fan or it puts you in a position, look, before I started comedy, I interviewed a lot of celebrities. So it puts you in a position where if you do ever see them out, they kind of recognize you and they'll be like, oh, but when you turn into a stand-up comic, it's like they respect what you're doing. You're not just a reporter. And now you're kind of not on the same level, but they see you as something they can't do.
Oh, like the premiere night for Mad Apple, the Cirque du Soleil show I'm doing here in Las Vegas at the New York Hotel and Casino. That's right. Plugs.
Dropping the mic.
Professional. Good at this. Opening night, Anderson .Paak came to opening night, and then he wanted to meet the cast afterward, and he came up to me and was just started talking about like I just saying I was funny and stuff. I'm just like, I saw you in concert a month ago and you freaking killed it.
Let me tell you something. Anderson
amazing.
.Paak, I would that's one of my favorite people in the world. I can't wait to meet him one day because he's black and Korean just like me.
Oh, is he?
Like he's mixed. He's Blasian just like me. So like all the Blasian people, we look up to him. Sure. I know you're in an interracial marriage, and we'll get to that in a second. But that's the new thing, man. We're hot right now. This look is hot, Brad. White guys, I feel sorry for you because this is in right now.
That's in.
All of it. All of it.
And you got a bunch of white guys in suits going, we need to check 3 boxes, or we can get one person
and have him check all the boxes. Like, Brad, do you realize I've never been fired by a job? Because I can't.
You can't.
If you fire me, you'll get a lawsuit from my black and Asian side.
Oh, and they're so litigious.
Oh, yeah.
See, that's the thing. You don't even know what side I was talking about.
That's right. So now you met John Elway. You're a huge Denver Broncos fan.
Yeah.
How did that all come about?
So John Elway runs a bunch of car dealerships and in the Colorado area, and they have a big Christmas party every year. They had heard them a huge Denver Broncos fan, the person who organized the party, and they had seen my show at the Comedy Works in Denver. So they contacted me and go, hey, we hear you're a big Denver Broncos fan. Would you like to perform stand-up at the Christmas party for John Elway Motor Company? And
okay, before you get to that, let's let everybody know, corporate events are usually horrible.
They're horrible.
Horrible. It's a comic. Here, let me tell you why. I've done only one, and then
only one, and you're like, never again.
Because I
traumatized you that much.
It's kind of like doing a college, It's like you hear the horror stories, and then when you do one, you're like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
So I did one corporate event. What I noticed, it's people checking to make sure other people laugh, like their bosses, before they laugh.
Yes.
And that's all it is people just looking around saying, is it okay to laugh?
Is it okay? Will I get fired?
Will I get fired? My boss is here. So usually it makes everyone uncomfortable that's there.
Yeah.
So it just makes it a horrible event. Now, your event.
Yeah. So they call me and they say, do you want to do the gig? And I say, well, does John go to this? And
because that's the only reason
that's the only reason I would take it.
Let's be honest.
Only reason I would take it. I go, does John go to this? And they go, yeah, he goes every year. He literally schedules it the day before a Broncos home game, so he can be there every year. And I'm like, okay, well, let's go. Sign me up. They're like, do we negotiate money? I go, cut me a check if you want, but I'll be there. Like,
now, did you say at that time, I need to meet John?
I mean, essentially.
Okay, great.
I go to the thing. It's really nice. It's at a very fancy hotel in downtown Denver, and then John John walks in, sees me.
Okay, hold on. I need it all.
Ooh,
I need you to
okay.
paint it. When he walks in, is it like a light shines?
Oh,
and
in
everybody's
Denver,
like, oh.
that's God.
Yeah?
That is John Elway walks in a room in Denver, Colorado. That's God.
Okay.
That is.
Gotcha.
You know, like that would be Patrick Mahomes coming to any place in Kansas City.
Steph Curry walking anywhere in the Bay Area.
Yeah, that's God right there. So he walks in, everyone stops. He comes in. Now I'm already a drink and a half in even before my set because, and I never drink before my set because I always want to be professional. I always want to be in control.
But tonight you're drinking.
This one I'm like I gotta loosen up.
Now this is a stupid question.
Yeah,
because you're small. Do you get drunk faster? Does it less alcohol makes you drunk faster?
They call me 2-Beer Brad. And that is real. That is very real. 2 beers. So like if you ever come see one of my shows and it's one of those situations where people are sending me shots on stage and I'm going to reveal one of my secrets, I usually tell the waitress, hey, if they want to buy me a drink, give me a shot of water, put salt and lime on the thing, charge them $12 for the tequila.
100%.
Send it up, and I'll act the hell out of that. Like this is ice water, but you do the and you do like two little fake like that's strong. But it's water. And then sometimes they send you like 8 shots and you're like, oh crap, now I have to act drunk.
Isn't it crazy because you're small, people want to see you fucked up on purpose?
Yeah.
Like they just want to see you messed up.
Yeah. I used to tell a joke like this in my act, but it's true. It's me and hot chicks. Me and hot chicks, when we walk into a room, everyone just looks at us and goes, that's getting fucked up tonight. Because good stuff is going to happen. With the hot chick, they think something good's going to happen. I don't know what they think is going to happen when I do it. I don't know if I no, we get him drunk enough, he explodes into candy. That's what he does. So I'm a drink and a half in. John comes in. Everyone immediately
stops.
record. And everyone's talking to him. He sees me and goes, that's the comedian. And I'm just like, ha. Like I have, at this time, I already have a signed John Elway jersey. I've got a poster that someone met him and had him sign the poster for me. Like all this. John Elway is the dude. We all have that athlete.
So he's your guy.
That's the guy. We all have that athlete where like when we were growing up at a certain age, that athlete hits at the right time with what we're into. And Elway's my guy. Comes up, talks to me for a bit. I forget what I said because it's all a blur, trying to make jokes. And then I go and I do my set.
Okay.
And
how'd it go?
Dude, it went so good.
Did it? Okay.
I have a video on my phone of when I said thank you, good night, and Elway is right dead center. He's the first one to stand up and get it. So everyone's like, oh, okay, we got to stand up.
Because if Elway stands, everybody has it.
God just stood up. So, okay, now we're standing. So he stands up. Everyone stands up. Standing ovation. It's great. Amazing. He comes.
Let me ask you, how long did you do?
I did like 35 minutes.
Did you have an opener to warm the room?
No.
Oh.
No, clean.
So was it?
My opener was the guy giving out the regional sales awards. For the most Priuses given in the Colorado area, this guy, Terry, get up here and make a speech.
So
that was my opener.
So as soon as you went up, was it bumpy? Because sometimes you got to feel them out.
Yeah, I had to do a little crowd work in the beginning to kind of get the audience into the rhythm of stand-up. Like, no, this is how it's going to work. I'm going to say something, you're going to laugh, you're going to pay attention.
Gotcha.
And I commented about the decor and everything like that. So
you warmed them up a little.
Yeah,
okay.
Warmed them up before you get into material. And that's just something you learn from doing these enough where you go like, okay, this is how you have to ease people into stand-up. In a comedy club, they come in, they know the rhythm. They know what this is. Different scenarios where it's just like, and now a comedian. Like they don't know.
Yeah.
You can't just come in guns a-blazing. So when the thing's done,
they all stand up. John Elway walks towards you. Maybe
he kind of summoned me to the table.
Oh, like God!
Yeah,
like, come to the table where all the disciples are. Like, and Brad is like the person next to.
Yeah. So I come in and we start talking, and he goes, "Man, what are you doing tomorrow?" And I go, well, I literally just flew in for this gig. My wife is at this point 8.5 months pregnant. And like, so we're literally like any day, anytime. So, you know, I got to go home. And then John goes, oh man, I would have invited you to the game tomorrow.
You got to go. You got to go.
I go, hold on. And I run out of the room and I call my wife and I go, honey, I know you're like about to pop, but John just invited me to the game. And my wife, God bless her, she's like, well, you go. That's what's up right there. That's your hero. You go to the game. So the next day, got to go, had on-field passes, saw the whole pregame, and then we watched the game from John Elway's box in the stadium.
Now, John Elway, when he's in his box, is he friendly or is he in game mode where
he's
nobody
engaged? Because at that time he was vice president of football operations. Not that I know anything about that kind of thing. So he's very intense and he's watching. But during some breaks, you know, he's then like the dude. You know this, interviewing as many celebrities as you've interviewed. There are people that have been in the limelight now for so long, and they just know. All right, turn it on. Now.
Yep. Gotcha.
And like now I'm in work mode, now I'm in friendly mode, now I'm in schmooze mode, now I'm in me mode. Like there are people that just they flip that switch. And so he was doing that. We took a couple photos in the press box. He signed a jersey for me. I now have 4 John Elway signed jerseys. And I ended up doing the party again the next year. They brought me back, which now is like, oh crap, I got to rewrite all the material. But yeah, it was during the party at one point. I had brought a football and I asked him to sign it, and then I asked him, I go, can you throw me a pass? and he's like, yeah, go out. I'm like, yes. So I'm running out in a suit, and he's in the suit. But I have video of this too. He took off the jacket, and then he like cocked the arm. Like John, John, don't go, no, like don't like, because that guy, like, for those of you who don't know, Elway had one of the biggest guns in history. So, but he just did a nice little lob to me. Thankfully, I caught it. And so I could say I caught a pass from John Elway and got to meet my hero and
dude,
all that.
And that's what comedy brings you, bro.
Yeah,
that's what's so great about it.
I can text him now, not right now, but I could text him and he texts back. Like when they got Russell Wilson, I was like, dude.
So when are you going to a game? You going to a game to see Russell?
Hell yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to multiples. Now I'm all into this team.
Do you still buy tickets to the games, or do you have now connects?
Buy tickets. Oh, quaint.
Exactly.
No, I've got some hookups within the organization, including John himself. I try. Do you have those numbers in your phone? Because you've met you've met these celebrities that you have these numbers, and you're like, I would text you every day if it were up to me, but like I'm trying not to.
100%.
Yeah. Okay.
And it goes in waves where one day all of a sudden they just sit you up, and you look. I have numbers.
Yeah.
If I get a phone call, or a text, it still gets me giddy.
Yeah.
Like a little girl. Like I'm like, oh my God, I know them.
Yeah.
Like I know this person.
Yeah.
And I get like, wow, it's just one of those moments like you just never thought would happen. No. And there's some of the biggest stars in the world, and they text you or call you, and you're just like, I can't. And you look at the name. I mean, it's a coded name because you're not gonna put their real name in it, but you know who it is.
I gotta change all the names in my phone then.
Oh yeah, I have codes. I'll put their name, but it's like abbreviations where nobody would know.
Yeah.
But when they call or text, it just still blows me away. It's just you get giddy.
Yeah, and I almost have to take a moment when those happen and be like, okay, don't fanboy. They're calling you because they want to talk like a human being. Like, so I'm a lifelong, as well as being a Broncos fan, I'm a lifelong wrestling fan. And now I can legitimately say I am friends with Chris Jericho.
Yes.
And I'm friends with this guy. I've talked to them. We'll hang out. The man's come to see my shows. I've gone to see his shows. Like we're friends. But I still have that moment when he calls where I'm like, Y2J, Y2J is calling. And I have to like be like, no, he's your friend. Just talk to him.
No,
like
100%.
I have to give myself that little pep talk.
It's a crazy thing about our business. Even some like now, you've been in comedy a lot longer than me, but when you start and you see your friends that now are selling out auditorium, like stadiums, and I
used to tour with Joe Coy.
Dude, I used to tour with Joe Coy.
Yeah, we used to be open, and I wasn't even like his opener. He wasn't my opener. We were both opening acts. Like we were on a tour bus, it just as opening acts. And now the dude is like one of the biggest comics in the world. And he's changed his number so many times I don't have it anymore. Please, Joe, hit me up. I don't know if you want me to open for you, whatever.
The weirdest thing is when people, and I'm sure this has happened to you, when people hit you up for people's numbers because they've changed it.
Yeah.
And I never know what to say, because it's like, unless I know this person has respect for that person.
Sure.
I'll hit up Joe or whoever and be like, yo, can I give him your number?
Yeah.
But it's so odd. People just think you throw out numbers. There's a reason why they keep changing their number.
Yeah, because somebody got it. Well, and now they can't have that anymore.
Tyler Perry said the best thing. He goes, when you blow up and you break the glass ceiling, people get cut.
Oh, I love that.
People get cut. And it's true. It's true. Like people I were very close to at one time. I'm still close, but not as close.
Yeah.
Because they're super busy.
Yeah.
And hopefully you can get on that level. But what's weird thing, let's be honest about Hollywood, it's a very weird level thing. When somebody levels up, it's almost, you could be close to them, but you kind of have to level up to be like you were before.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, because then only you guys can relate in that way. You know, like,
and you see them level up their friends. Like now they're hanging out with blank, blank, and blank.
Yeah. There was one time at the Comedy Store, I was walking down that hallway, and it was Gaffigan, it was Kreischer, it was Rogan, I'm forgetting one. Somebody else.
Sebastian.
It's all like, they're all stadium theaters, like it's all like that. And Bert, and I'm standing there and like, all right, I'm not allowed to talk right now. Like I'm just like, maybe if I have a quick line, but and Bert starts talking about tour buses and like the problems with tour buses, and everyone's chiming in with their problems with tour buses, and I'm just like, I can't.
My car works.
Yeah, it works. It's fine. And then Burr comes down the hallway, hears someone say something about tour bus, and goes, "Will you guys shut the fuck up? We all have fucking Teslas in the parking lot. You didn't think we'd ever be here? Shut up with your fucking buses." And then just walks out. And there was that moment where we all looked at each other and went, like, they all looked at each other. I'm not in that world. But like they all looked at each other and went, "Oh, right. Yeah, we used to do this shit in really horrible circumstances, and now we have the lives that we could only have dreamt about."
And that's what's so amazing. I remember I've been on Rogan like 3 times, but I remember the first 2 times I got booked on it, literally walking down the hallway. He's like, "Yo, what's up? What's up? Oh, you need to be on my podcast." And everybody thinks this, since it's so big, the podcast is so big, this is elaborate scheduling.
Yeah, it's publicists and
no, it's literally, he sees you go, "Oh, dude, you need to be on the pod."
Yeah.
It was just that simple. And it happened twice like that. And one time it happened at the Comedy Store down that long hallway. And what's interesting to watch is just going to the Comedy Store a lot and watching when a comic starts and then they blow up or whatever.
Yeah.
How it's weird that you know someone, and I'm not just talking about Joe, I'm just talking about other comedians too. You know them, but then everybody, like Joe, I'm going to use Joe as the example. He was in the hallway and everything just gravitated around it. And this was the time when Joe would sell out. He could sell at the Comedy Store every night by himself. And it's just weird to see everybody gravitate.
Yeah.
And it's just the industry, how it's almost like you talked about John Elway being God.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan in the Comedy Store is just
God.
like, oh.
Yeah.
And what's great about Joe, he helps so many people out by putting him on this podcast. But it's very interesting to watch that when you're on the outside looking in.
What's another thing about that is that you'll find yourselves in situations at the Comedy Store or at the Comedy Cellar in New York where, like, I've been in the back green room at the Comedy Store, and it was Burr, Marin, Jesselnick, Tom Papa, and myself. And I stopped for a minute and goes, I'm here hanging out. How many people would pay God knows how much money to be in this room right now?
But you know what sucks too?
To just hang.
100%. But you know what sucks too about LA? And that's why I live in Las Vegas right now.
Yeah.
Is when I see a lineup at the store, Improv, Laugh Factory, where you have like crushers, people that would sell out stadiums.
Yeah, going on back to back.
But back to back, but there's tickets still available, like at for 200 seats at the Improv. I'm like, LA is so spoiled in comedy.
You have Sebastian followed by Eliza, followed by Segura, and there's tickets available. Fuck?
And I'm like, dude, this is how spoiled LA is. Like, I saw that the other day. It was that type of lineup where Improv was like, still tickets left. And I go, how are tickets left?
Yeah.
That's how spoiled and privileged LA is in comedy, because that lineup would sell out stadiums, but yet can't sell 200 tickets at the Improv. Come on.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And I feel you 100%.
It's embarrassing, Brad.
There are so many times when it's like, I'll go to Columbus, Ohio. I'll sell out 6 shows at the Funny Bone. Maybe we added a show on Saturday. It's amazing. I love that club. I love that city. I love that area. And you're like, all right, where are we next week? And I'm not throwing them under the bus. This is just the reality of the situation. Where you go like, all right, I'm at Flappers in Burbank next week. So it's like,
you don't even have to say anything. As soon as you said Flappers, I was like, this is going to be horrible.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, I just sold the equivalent of like 1,300 tickets, 1,200 tickets for a weekend. Awesome. Now we're going to Flappers in Burbank, and Josh from Flappers goes, hey man, ticket sales are a little light. Can you like hit the promotion like hard? And you're just like, and there we go.
But you know what? That's the one thing I love about comedy till you blow
Flappers.
up. Is because it's so humbling too. Because you could go, I normally don't travel as much on the summer and do dates. And I did this year because I was like, I wanted to try out new markets. So so far I've done 9 dates.
Okay.
6 of them have been fucking phenomenal.
Yep.
3 is like, what the hell am I doing here? It's like almost like you don't do comedy.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even know you did comedy. You know, it's like you go to a city and you're like, wait, where is everybody?
Yeah.
And it's the emotional roller coaster because you're like, I'm killing it, and you're on a roll. I did like 3 in a row and it was like murdering. I was like, ticket sales, my agent was like, dude, this is the way to go.
Great.
And then the next one is just like, and you're like, what the hell just happened? That's what's so humbling about it.
That's comedy, and that's how it is. And as humbling as that is, the opposite of that, the feeling when you first go to Comedy Works in Denver and you sell 150 tickets for the Saturday early show, which is the show you should always sell out.
Yeah.
Or you sell 112. And like the Friday night late show, you're lucky if it has like 50 people.
50 people, 100%.
Yeah, and you're just like, oh man. But then the next year you go back and there's a little more people. Next year you go back, a little more people. And then 5 years after that first date, sold out before you even get there. Whole weekend, you're just like, oh, I don't even need to tweet. I don't got to promote. I don't got to do nothing.
You know what's great is
that feeling, walking in and seeing sold out, when you have those flashbacks in your mind of that empty comedy club that makes you go, what the hell am I doing with my life? My parents were right. And like, I should have quit a long time ago. And now it's sold out. You're like, that feeling. I live for that feeling.
You know, and Wendy over there is amazing. Wendy, what I love,
Curtis at the Comedy Works.
A lot of clubs can't do it anymore, but Wendy's very successful where they can't invest bad weekends anymore, because it's kind of like it's instant gratification and clubs need to make money. So, but like Gotham, they were the first club to say, we're going to book you every year, no matter what, you know, like 8 years ago. And now when I get to Gotham, it sells out. Yeah. You know, Wendy was like that with me 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
And to see someone build in a market, it is an amazing feeling. But what I feel sorry about for newer comedians coming in, a lot of times clubs, they don't want to bankroll that weekend of losing. They don't want to invest.
Yeah. And you get it. I mean, heck, we just went through COVID.
Yeah.
And where most of them shut down. And so they're like, no, we need ticket sales. We need ticket sales every week. And now there's so many people that sell. I was thinking about this literally this morning, where like back when I started, or like was like 5 years in, I could think of like 3 theater comics, or like, or maybe 2 stadium. You know, like it'd be like Larry the Cable Guy. It'd be like Chris Rock and like maybe like a George Lopez
and a Dave Chappelle,
like, but very limited.
But what's interesting is TV pushed that. If you were on TV and had a sitcom, or you were on TV a lot, it was a wrap. Now comedians like Anthony, what's his name? Last name that
Jeselnik?
Schultz.
Oh, Schultz.
Yeah. You make your
Andrew
own
Schultz.
thing.
Yeah.
Andrew Schultz. Yeah. You make your own path. You make your own way in. And that's so amazing because everybody has a platform now, which is good and bad, I would guess.
Yes. You know, good and bad. But it's good because I was thinking like, man, how many like multi-millionaire comedians are there now that are just touring regularly, that you go like a Schultz, where you go like, well, where do you know Schultz from? Oh, his show that he built up. Where do you know Segura from? All right, Segura built up his show. You know, got a Rogan bump, but is insanely talented. Like, and then Bert, and then like they all built on their. They made it themselves. They did it themselves. It's so cool that now you could look at like Sebastian Maniscalco is selling out arenas.
Yes,
and there are people that wouldn't know him if he walked down the street.
Dude, let me tell you something.
Because he built it up himself.
Ali Wong, me and Ali Wong did Pasadena Ice House like a week or 2 weeks before her first one came out.
Baby Cobra, yeah.
Like it was like 200 people there, right?
Yeah.
And now, just 2 weeks later, like she was selling out like arenas. Like small theaters, and now she's probably selling out bigger theaters. But it's interesting to see, and since you're in it and you've been in it, we've all had friends that have just blown up.
Sure.
You always try to, what is that thing?
What is it?
See? And that's what's so interesting about the industry. Some people, I know one comedian, it was one clip that started their whole career.
Oh, you have like,
and of course they got talent. I'm not saying, but the one clip, I know 2 comedians where it was a clip for this person. Well, I just said Russell Peters even talks about that. He was one of the first YouTube clips to go viral.
Russell, Johnson,
Angela Johnson. You have he's a phenomenal comic. But Steve Trevino, the whole the whole food thing, that kind of blew him up. You know, they're all phenomenal comedians. Now, what's great about Sebastian, and I was looking at, I didn't know Sebastian until he blew up, because I kind of do. When I was at the store, I'm not a paid regular there, but I would go there to do other people's shows and then bounce. So I learned about Sebastian after the blow up. Okay. And then you go back and look at it. He had 6 specials out before the blow up. And so it doesn't, Ali Wong doesn't happen that much. When you look at the comedians that are selling out, Joe Coy is like on his 7th special. Yeah. Bill Burr.
Whitney Cummings just announced her 6th.
Burr
just released one.
It's kind of like, oh, okay. I get it now. I get it now. It's a process. And usually about that 4th, what I'm noticing about that 4th special, that's when people are like, oh, this dude does comedy. And then they start coming out. You know what I mean?
How crazy is that? The 4th one. You got to get a 4th one.
Unless it's just lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, because you do one and you go like, all right, I did a special. Like I'm famous now, right?
Yeah.
Nah. Do it 3 more times.
And then it also depends. Like my last special just came out and it's exceeded my expectation. I just funded myself, put it out there.
Hell yeah.
And it's opened so many doors for me. But I know now on my YouTube channel, the next one I do is going to be even bigger. So it's kind of like now I'm hungry to put out new stuff all the time, because I got my formula that I feel is going to work for me. And that's the whole thing is, now that I own it, I can do whatever I want with it.
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful thing.
Yeah.
You know, how many specials have you done?
3.
So you got one more for the blow up, man.
Yeah, one more. All right. One more before I never have to do the Yo show ever again.
I'm like, Brad, you'd be like, nah, we good.
We good. I'm all right. It's already sold out. We're fine.
Yeah, no, we're good. No, we're not doing this. What's the craziest fan experience you've ever had?
Oh, my God.
Because you're so small, people must want to pick you up. Like
I literally have to say, at my shows, I'm doing a meet and greet. I'm taking photos. Do not pick me up. I have to say that every show. Because inevitably, someone's going to go up. Hopefully they ask. Sometimes they don't. And just go like, all right, right there, go to photo, right? And you're just like, and like I wrestled in high school. I got sprawls. So like I sprawl, like I get out, like I'm elusive, man. Like you are not fucking picking me up. I hate that shit. Like dwarf etiquette 101. Don't pick us up. Don't pat us on the head. I fucking hate that too. I can't stand it. Anyway, sorry, I'm about to get mad. So, woosah. Woosah. Think of your daughter. Okay, good. Happy place. But yeah, so I've had some crazy fan experiences, but then like there's been some negative ones with like, you know, picking me up and whatever the hell. But I like to focus on the good ones. I like to focus on the stuff that's like, and when someone comes to you and says that this literally happened 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, Mad Apple, I do a meet and greet after the show. This guy comes up, and he's like, I came to the show because of you. And I go, that's awesome, Cirque du Soleil, and yet you're here because of me. That's crazy. And then he says, I have to tell you this. And I go, oh boy, like this could be, what's this? What, like, I'm your son, you know, or right. Or like, here are your papers, you know, or like whatever, serve it. I'm like, and he goes, I was going to kill myself. The TV was on. I had watched something on Amazon, but then your special queued up next. And he's like, literally, the bottle of pills is there. I'm taking it. You say a joke, and I wasn't even listening, but you said something, and I went, and then I sat down, I watched your special, I laughed, and I'm still here.
Dude, that's great, man.
And when I get those, like we're professional idiots. We're morons. We're clowns. And you have to stop and go like, oh, shit, like people are actually consuming this, and people are getting something out of this, and laughter is truly. I'm not gonna say it's the best medicine. I don't know. Advil's pretty great, but like it is medicine.
You know what
it's medicine.
It is medicine because so many people go through so many rough times, and what's missing a lot of the times is joy or laughter. And I've gotten those same emails. I've gotten those same messages, and it makes you sit back and go, "Oh, this is I'm not selling out stadiums. I'm not selling out but I'm making a difference." And that's and that means so much.
Dude, I was at the Montreal Comedy Festival, and there is a dwarf that came up to me in the lobby of the Hyatt where everyone stays. Everyone knows it's the Hyatt. Whatever. Yeah. I'm not saying anything weird. I'm not outing. That's where they stay. Yeah, everyone knows. So he comes up to me in the lobby of the Hyatt, and he's like, "Hey, Brad, I'm a big fan of yours." And I go, "That's awesome." I see he's a little person, so it's like, okay, I get that. You know, someone who looks like you. Not a lot of us out there. There's like 3 dwarf comics. It's like me, Nick Novicki, Tanya Lee Davis. That's about it. There's one guy who's like, "What about me?" But he comes up and he goes, "Hey, I'm a big fan of yours." And he goes, "I started doing comedy after I saw you do comedy." And I'm like, "Oh man, that's awesome. Cool." And now you're hanging out here at the Montreal Comedy Festival. You're trying to see some shows. He goes, "No, I'm in the Montreal Comedy Festival."
Dope.
And I'm like, yes. So bro's life was going one way. Saw me tell jokes. Now his life is going another way, and now he's succeeding at that. That's the best. That's the best. Like and you go like, oh shit, like this stuff does have power.
It does.
It's stuff where we go like, yes, we are professional idiots. I was at a dinner the other night with a bunch of comics, and someone brought someone, and I was like, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" And she goes, I don't want I go, what do you do? Come on. She's like, it's not. She goes, it's not exciting like what you guys do. It's not. I go, what do you do? And she goes, I write RNA code for these drugs that'll probably cure cancer. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean that's not interesting? What do you, like, I probably even said that wrong, but like, that's essentially what she does. She writes the code for the medicine and she runs simulations to cure cancer. And I'm like, see, that's an important job.
100%.
That's a job that we need. We don't need assholes like you and me.
Yeah.
But then we need that job. But then you stop and go, wow, that woman who does that insane work that has the potential of saving hundreds of thousands, if not millions of lives. That person looks at what you and I do and goes, now that's a job.
That's
what
a job.
The fuck?
That's a talent. That's a talent.
That's madness to me.
Now, off topic,
Sure.
I always wanted to ask you this because I've known you forever. Are dwarfs attracted to dwarfs first, or are they attracted to normal sized people?
I don't want to speak for all little people.
I'm talking about you.
I don't want to be the spokesman. Be like, all right, I got elected at the meetings. I am now King Dwarf. It was Dinklage. He got very busy. He can't fulfill his duties, and now I am King Dwarf. So for me personally, at first I was attracted strictly to dwarves.
Now, what do you call them? Little people or dwarves? Which way is socially? I don't even know anymore.
I say little people.
Little people. Okay.
You know what? I use all three terms. I say little person. I say dwarf. I sometimes say midget. That's the one you're not supposed to say.
You're not supposed to say midget, but you can still say dwarf?
Yeah, that's actually we are. We're like, I have achondroplastic dwarfism. So yes, we're dwarves.
So wasn't there a controversy? What is
There probably is.
With Disney, what's the girl with the dwarves?
Oh, Snow White.
Snow White.
Yeah, that's what Dinklage commented on. That's why he's not King Dwarf anymore. No, all right. So what happened was they're doing a live action Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs the same way they did for a bunch of live action Disney movies, gotcha. Lion King, Jungle Book, all those. And they cast Snow White as a Latina. And Peter Dinklage commented on this on Mark Maron's podcast. And Dinklage basically said, great, we have a Latina. Wonderful. That's good. But we still got dwarves. We still got the dwarves in the thing. Like that's he's like, I've worked so hard, and I couldn't tell if he was saying that jokingly or serious. But he's
still got dwarves, as in he would rather normal sized people in those roles now.
And I'm kind of like hanging back, like, hey, bro, like some of us need those roles. Like some of
us weren't in Game of Thrones.
Some of us don't have that Game of Thrones money, dude. I can dink. It's funny because TMZ caught me talking about this, or they got me on the street, and I was talking about that, and then they put in the headline, Brad says Dink is wrong, or something like that. I'm like, Dink? You had me call him an 80s clown wrestler? Dink sounds like something that you would say to insult a dwarf, like, that's fucking Dink over here. Like, can't reach the soda. Like, don't say that. Like, his name is Dinklage.
Did Dink ever reach out? Have you ever met him?
No, I've never met him. I would love to meet him, just because of how talented he is and how
he's amazing.
And now he's broken through. He's truly broken through, and to the point where he's cast in roles that aren't, he's a dwarf, and so let's get Dinklage. It's just, no, this is the role, and this is what he's playing, which is fantastic. He and I differ with some thoughts, and the Snow White thing is one of them. I think it'd be great if you can just change the dwarves a little bit, so it's not like 7 white dudes. You have like, okay, like 7 old white dudes. You have like, oh yeah, put some female dwarves in there.
Yeah,
fantastic. Put dwarves of different races. We didn't all have to be Like they could have come from different families and stuff like that. That's fine. It's totally fine. So
all dwarves aren't white.
Yeah,
I got you. That's the point.
Yeah, and some and like some are Asian and some it's hard to tell because Asians are just naturally kind of tiny. It's like are you dwarf or
just normal
North Korean,
right?
Like which one is it? Dwarf or malnourished? They're not going to see this.
They won't, and they really won't.
Oh well, no, they won't see this. Yeah. If ever you want to be racist, just make fun of North Koreans. Fine. They're not going to see it anyway. But yeah, so we differ slightly on that. Where I think, and I could be wrong, and I don't want to speak for the man, but it seemed like he wanted to kind of eliminate the dwarf roles. I'm like, no, we can keep them and just make it not so. Like just make it not so much that, or include women and different races. I think that'd be good.
100%. I like that train of thought. I just think
have Snow White end up with the dwarf, not the prince.
Oh, and by the way, you still never answered my question. You went through all that.
I'll get there.
Yeah, okay. Now, are you hooking up with dwarves at the beginning, or are you going for normal size people?
Yeah. And then here's a term for you, Michael.
Yes.
Because I know that you want to be PC.
I do.
Good. So we prefer the term average size people.
Oh. Average. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Average.
See, I don't get mad.
Yeah.
I just know there's probably a little person watching going, tell him, Brad, tell him. So I'm like, okay, I'll tell him.
Average size people.
Average size people. Okay. So
now make sure if we edit clips in this, Alex, that we make sure he corrects me as an average because I don't want to get canceled.
Yeah.
A lot of little people in front of my door.
Yeah, they'll be freaking protesting you with 3x5 cards instead of picket signs. They'll be out there. Anyway. So when I first sort of came online with trying to flirt with the opposite
now
sex,
online through apps.
Oh no! That was a term.
Okay, because
we don't have a dating dwarf app yet. We should.
We should. What would you call it? What would you call it?
Date a little.
Date a little.
I've thought about this.
Date a little. Dude, you would be a millionaire, bro. Date a little. And then question mark.
Yeah.
Date a little?
Yeah.
Question mark.
Advertised people could come on it too and be like, date a little? Do you want to date a little?
Nah.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
Dude, brilliant.
Date a little.
Do it.
There you go. So when I first started being interested in women, yes, I was interested in dwarf women. I'm still interested in dwarf women. I'm still attracted to them. But the reason was because at the time, I didn't think any average sized woman would ever like me or be attracted to me. So why would I even try? Why would I even get friend zoned for the 9,000th time? Like, I just look at you as more of a friend, and it's like, okay, let's go cry. It would have been perfect. Anyway, but so at first I was dating pretty exclusively little people. And then it wasn't until I was like 3 or 4 years into stand-up, so I was like 24, 25 years old, where I started dating average-sized women because I was like, oh, now I'm funny. That helps.
Right? A lot.
That helps. So yes, and I got very confident through being funny, and that certainly helped. And then, but like I'm always gonna look at dwarf women. One of the last girlfriends I had before I met my wife was a little person. So
okay.
I went like I got range, dude. Like I got range. Like
I'm Steph Curry.
Yeah, I got range. I could do a layup and I could like pop him from half court. It's fine. I got range. Shortest girl I ever dated was 3'7", and the tallest woman I ever dated was she was a volleyball player. She was 5'11". So it's like, I don't know anyone else. I got range.
Okay, is the sex different?
With dwarves as opposed to...
Yeah, you must be a little... Like, you must have to,
I'm going to say something...
Recalculate.
I'm going to say something that might be considered fucked up.
Okay.
Sex is fantastic with little people. It's wonderful. It's great. For the most part, pretty normal. Pretty. It's like with average sized people. I couldn't pick up and do that position with a dwarf woman. I can't do that with a tall woman.
Yes.
So it's not like it was like I can do certain positions that I can't. It's pretty good all around. There's one thing though, and this is me personally. This is Brad speaking, not all little people.
I love how you're so PC now. You're very media.
Yeah, I'm trying. But with my the last girl that I dated who happened to be a dwarf, she was clean shaven. She was clean shaven, and she did that. She's like, yeah, guys like this, and I'm like, for me, if it's a dwarf woman, I need a bush down there. Okay, I need a reminder, because if I'm having sex and I'm holding 2 little feet, and I look down and I see clean shaven, I'm like, this feels bad. This feels way too close to something that would get me on Dateline NBC. I cannot do this. I need you.
Oh my goodness.
You know, do it if you want. Your body, your choice. But for me personally, I need some her down there.
These little feet.
Yeah.
Little legs.
I can't be holding size 2 stride rights and then look down and see no hair. I can't. I'm not. I feel so uncomfortable. So that was the only thing. Like, that was the only thing that was different for me. It's like I can't do it. I can't look down. And you're in a 2T t-shirt. You're a dad, you know that.
2T.
You gave me a 2T t-shirt and some some stride rights, or a shoe that's got lights on it, and then me just be like, nah, that's a woman. I need a reminder. I need a reminder that you're a woman. Grow a bush, pierce some nipples, do some stuff that makes me look down there and go, yeah, that is an adult woman.
Oh my goodness! I think we found the opening of the show, Alex. I think we found the clip for the opening of the show.
And that's me. Some people might like that. You're not, that's me.
But you are King Dwarf, you said, so you may speak for a lot of them.
I speak for all.
Do you think it's the other way around though?
With women?
For women, like when dudes shave.
Oh, I don't know.
No, because little dudes ain't that like a baby. Like
it's
okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to ask them. I'd have to ask them.
We know your side, and your side is
my
brilliant.
Side is put a marker down there that lets me know. Okay, I'm this is a woman. This is a fully mature woman. I need that.
Okay, my podcasts are only an hour, and we're almost done. But I got so much to get. I mean, you're gonna come back again. But let's talk about maybe next time we talk about family.
Okay.
Because I do want to promote your Cirque du Soleil show, Mad Apple. I know you only have a couple weeks left on it, right?
Yeah. My last day is August 16th. It's Cirque du Soleil. It's Mad Apple. It's at New York. There's 3 comedians in the show. By the time you see, there'll be 2 comedians in the show. One is leaving. But it's the first time Cirque du Soleil has ever put a comedian in the show, and it's funny. I hear,
How did it happen?
I got a call. I just got a call from this guy named Simon Painter, who created the show The Illusionists and creates other shows, and he wanted comedians in his shows. He said he looked at a bunch of tapes and he saw, and he goes, you can do that. And the first thing I said to him was I said to him, I get it. Dwarf in a circus makes sense. And he's like, wait, no. And he got all offended. I'm like, no, don't worry about it, man. It's fine. And but yeah, he contacted me. There wasn't like auditions or anything. And at first I said no, just for the thing where it's like, I don't want to be a dwarf in a circus. I can't do that. And then I asked, like, what am I doing in the show? And he's like, you're just doing stand-up. I go, okay, so you're not going to try to
throw you up and flip you,
fire me out of a cannon going wee wee, like it's not going to be like Cirque du Soleil like that. And he goes, no, you're just doing stand-up. And I go, what do I have rules of what I can talk about? Like, is there a script? Is there a theme? Like, what I got? And he goes, I would just want you to be fucking funny. That's it. Just, you're the expert. You know what funny is. Be fucking funny. And I go, wow, that's good. And then they threw a number at me, and I was like,
Yeah.
And they threw another, and then I said no, and then they threw another number at me. And I'm like, okay.
Okay. But I would imagine you still make more money on the road. So was that kind of okay?
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Sometimes I do.
Sometimes you do. Okay.
In Columbus, I do.
Yeah. Gotcha.
In Columbus and Royal Oak, Michigan, I do. In Flappers, I don't.
Yes. So do you feel creatively, you know, because I go up every night at the Cellars. So I feel like I get to work out new material all the time.
Yeah.
And it's a comedy crowd. What I notice about the show is like you're the first one to come out, which I think is the toughest job because you got to get people go, oh, I just saw a person do something amazing. And now you're about to hear some stand up.
Yeah.
You kind of reset the room.
I just saw two guys juggle each other with their feet.
Yes. Yes.
Which now I know is something called Icarian games. That's an actual category of performance. So yes.
Did you, I guess creatively, did you feel stagnant?
Yeah, and there are times I've written a few new jokes while I've been here and I've tried them out, but it's when I'm doing the store for 20 minutes or my own headline shows for an hour, it's easy to try new material. You try it. If it doesn't work, all right, I got plenty of stuff and plenty of time to get the audience back. For 10 minutes, man.
No.
Hits.
Yeah.
Coming with hits. So there's a few new jokes that I did.
No, you were great.
I kind of knew like, okay, I really think this is going to work. If this doesn't work, it's going to be awkward as hell. I won't say what the setup is, but there's a joke where I fall and if that joke doesn't work, if that bombs, ooh, that's going to be awkward because then I have to get up with with like silence and no laughter. Oof. 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 Yeah.
And how many? So out of the times you did it, how many times did it work, and how many times did it not work?
Thankfully it worked. Night one.
Okay.
Night one.
Great.
And they said I had 10 minutes, and I was like, cool. So I just put the hits in.
Okay,
good.
Good.
Let's play the damn hits. Let's do the stuff that I know works. I went through my act, went like, how could I get like a theme like within just 10 minutes? And I felt I did that. So yeah, but it was a challenge. It was something I really wanted to do. I like challenging myself. When they said you'd be the first comedian ever in a Cirque du Soleil show, I'm like, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that because now if anyone else does it, they'll be like, oh, this is the Brad Williams spot, or whatever. Like,
absolutely.
I like that. I like not getting on a plane every week. It's nice. I like being part of an ensemble. Comedians were so lonely. Like, let's go to the hotel. You're by yourself. You perform. If you know the feature, great. Now you have someone to hang out with. If you don't, and if it's a local person, hopefully you get along. If you don't get along, well, fuck, you're alone.
Yeah.
And especially for married guys, we're alone.
Now, of course, you brought your family out here, and it's hot in Vegas.
Yeah.
It's like 120 degrees sometimes. Did your family, I know you still have a place in LA, but did they like it in Vegas?
Yeah, they kind of go back and forth.
Okay.
But yeah, my daughter was 5 feet tall and she got here, she melted. Now she's down, she's very tiny. No. But yeah, they liked it out here. Thankfully, Vegas is the kind of a town, you know this.
Yep.
They've managed in certain parts of Vegas to make it very kid friendly.
Oh,
there's lots of good stuff.
Parks, everything.
Indoor stuff. I'm out here. I brought my daughter to this like Chuck E. Cheese type place.
Oh yeah.
And she went in. This was her first time going into a place like this, and her mind was blown.
Dude, let me tell you something about
great.
Chuck E. Cheese. They just upgraded.
Yeah.
They just changed all the Chuck E. Cheeses, and they're nice now. They got rid of that robotic rat.
Yeah.
Now I'm telling you, there's one down the street, and I take my son all the time. They just changed it about a month ago.
Really?
And it's really nice now.
There you go.
They got new games, so I'm
good.
Like, I'm all about that life.
Yeah, it can't be the same game as we played.
It was like 2 months ago. It
so
was.
They still have the alligators that came out. Pow, 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 pow. Yeah, those.
Dude, their games were prehistoric, but now it's all good. What do you love about being a father?
Oh man, someone. I'm gonna name drop. Sucks, but Dana Carvey told me this because when my wife was pregnant and we were gonna have a kid, I knew that Dana kind of adjusted his career to be a better dad, and I want to be a good dad. That's my number one goal. If when I finally go and hopefully 90 more years, I want the first thing for them to say is like, nah, dude, that dude's a good dad. And I asked Dana, I was like, give me some advice, give me some tips, and whatever. And Dana said, that baby, that child is the only person who's ever going to call you dad. So that is someone very important. And that just kind of stuck with me.
Yeah.
Oh, she's the only person that'll call me dad. That anyone else calls me whatever they want to call me, but you call me dad. And then you start thinking about your own father and what that person meant to you. And you go, oh, crap, I mean this to someone now. And so the fact that I'm now like in charge of a life, and
crazy.
It's a crazy thing. And I love just seeing her advance and hit milestones and then discover stuff and like things. Like we got her this little toy piano and she started banging on it. She's like, oh, I like this. And she starts like really banging on the piano and I'm like, okay. Cause like every time she's into something, I'm like, wait, is this your thing?
Yeah.
Is this?
I'm the same way. Yes.
Is this your life's passion?
Mm-hmm.
Because we remember telling jokes, or you remember the moment that you're like, I want to be on TV. I want to be like, you remember those moments. So I think back and I'm constantly just like, wait, is this the thing? You know, and that's what I like about being a dad is seeing her discover things for the first time, going to the Chuck E. Cheese, going like, oh, you'll understand this.
Mm-hmm.
So wife and baby were out, and we went to this restaurant that's at the Bellagio that's like out, and you're right next to the fountains, right? First of all, cool story. When I first said, hey, can we get a table like by the window so we can watch the fountains? And they're like, we don't have anything available. And literally as I say this, someone walks by and goes, Brad Williams.
That's the coolest.
Yep. Saw you at Apple. That was great. Oh man, that was really funny. You mind if we take a photo? Cool, take a photo. And then I turn back and she goes, you know what? I think we can get you something. I'm like, yes.
Yes.
So yeah, fame worked in that round. So they got this table. It's literally the best table in the restaurant. It's right next to the window. We have this amazing meal. We're having a great time. And it's getting to that time, and I look at it, oh, the fountains.
Uh-huh.
And then the fountains, music starts going, fountains start going up, and my daughter just like lights up and like starts like and pointing and because she's 17 years old. No, she's 2, and she sees the fountains, and they're playing "Time to Say Goodbye" by Sarah Brightman and Bocelli, and I just start crying, man.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I'm at the table and I'm just crying because I'm seeing my daughter like, and I know that like, wow, like this is amazing to her. She's experiencing it, and it was just such the perfect moment. We had a great meal. My daughter's super well behaved. There was another kid in the restaurant that wasn't. It's almost kind of nice. It's kind of nice to see
somebody struggling while your kids are good.
Yeah. It's kind of nice. Like I feel for the parents. I feel for them. But then at the same time, I'm like, yeah.
When you're a parent, when you hear crying on a plane, it's different now. You're like, oh, I get it. I understand that.
I'm not mad.
And now when you see other people looking over, you're like, fuck you. You're not a parent, obviously.
Yeah, we're on a 4-hour flight. The kids got like, they're trying. Their ears are popping. They don't know what this is.
And like kids want to cry. You know, it's like, or you're a parent to be, please cry right now. To start, like,
that's how they deal with stress. Angry. They haven't figured out their coping mechanisms yet that you as an adult have figured out. So when they get upset, they cry.
Yes.
You might drink, but they cry. Like 100%. That's what they do. So now, yes, when you hear a kid crying on a plane, for me personally, I'm not mad. I'm just like, oh man, that kid's going through some stuff right now. Like I feel bad. I hope the parents are attentive. But then if the parents are not attentive, because I've been on those flights. Now
that's when I get angry. That's when I get angry.
I'm like, that's your kid. Like, and I see him tired, but I'm still just like, that's your kid.
Just leave. Summon
like when the energy.
When a kid kicks the back of my plane seat, I don't get mad at the kid. I look at the parents. Because you don't know how to parent. Like you see your kid doing this and you're letting them do this.
Because if my daughter ever kicked the back of someone's plane seat, first of all, I'd be like, how your legs grow? That's awesome. But secondly, if I saw it, I'd be like, okay, we're going to go for a walk right now. And then I'd pick her up, First of all, we'd walk to the other person's seat and be like, "You apologize to this person."
Yep.
Cool. And then we're gonna take a walk up and down the plane. All right, you're feeling aggressive. Let's get the legs out. Let's kind of move. All right, now we're gonna sit back down, but we're not gonna kick that person's seat. And you you have those moments. Everything is like a teachable moment. My wife is brilliant at this. Her job is a behavioral therapist.
Oh, so she knows.
She literally knows like how to do stuff. Like my daughter pinched my wife one time, and those fingers, man, they get pinched. Little tiny fingers, they get pinched, and my wife like kind of ow, and then just goes, "Hey, that hurt mommy's body. You don't want to hurt mommy's body, dude." She's like, "Oh no, I don't want to hurt mommy's body."
Yeah.
And you kind of have this moment. I'm like, "Oh, that's how you do that. Oh,
that's how you do it."
Oh, my wife is so good at this. But yeah, just the acts of discovery, just the acts of her figuring stuff out for the first time. When she like puts the block in the hole where it's like the star block in the star hole, and then watching her like get that when she sees a thing that you put on Play-Doh and then it makes a shape and she goes, and then she does it. Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. That does that. Like seeing her get stuff is just the coolest. It's just the coolest. Man. I love it.
All right. Well, we got to wrap this up because but Mad Apple for the next couple weeks.
Yep.
Check out my tour schedule. It's all over the place. MichaelYo.com. Dude, thank you so much for popping by.
Yeah. Oh, and then when Mad Apple ends, I am going back on the road.
Okay.
I'm not like, all right, I'm taking 6 months off. Like, no,
Where can people find it?
BradWilliamsComedy.com. My last day is August 16th. August 19th to 20th, I'm at the San Jose Improv.
Nice.
So we're going. So we're going. So BradWilliamsComedy.com. Check out the tour schedule. Check out your tour schedule.
Let's do it.
Buy them tickets, and let's turn every weekend into a Columbus weekend.
There you go. Let's do that. Let's do that. All right, Brad. Thank you so much.